It was a dark and stormy night as I found myself driving alone on a desolate highway. The rain relentlessly pounded against my windshield, creating an eerie symphony that matched the rhythm of my racing heartbeat. The only source of light was the occasional flickering street lamp, casting long and distorted shadows along the lonely road. I couldn't shake the feeling of unease that settled deep within me. It wasn't just the storm or the darkness, it was something more sinister. An inexplicable fear that clawed at the edges of my mind, begging to be acknowledged. My knuckles turned white as I gripped the steering wheel tighter, desperate for some sense of control. As I continued on, my headlights revealed an old, abandoned drive-in movie theater, its faded sign barely visible through the relentless downpour. Intrigued and unnerved in equal measure, I pulled into the empty parking lot. The place seemed frozen in time, lost to the decay of neglect. Despite the pounding rain, I stepped out of my car and made my way toward the ticket booth. A chill wind whispered through the overgrown grass, carrying with it an air of foreboding. I hesitated for a moment before pushing open the rusty gate, which creaked in protest. The main screen loomed before me, towering over the empty rows of decaying cars. The images from the film projected onto the worn-out screen were flickering, jumbled, and unsettling. Faces twisted in agony and eyes filled with despair flashed briefly before being swallowed by the darkness. A low, guttural growl echoed through the night, causing the hair on the back of my neck to stand on end. I turned, but there was nothing there. Fear began to consume me as I questioned my sanity. Was it simply my mind playing tricks on me? As I cautiously ventured deeper into the drive-in, the rain gradually subsided, leaving behind an oppressive silence. The only sounds were the echoes of my footsteps, each one magnified by the eerie stillness. Shadows danced ominously around me, playing tricks on my already frazzled nerves. Suddenly, a distant figure caught my attention. It stood near the concession stand, its silhouette blending seamlessly into the night. As I approached, my heart raced with trepidation. The figure turned slowly, revealing a face that was both familiar and yet somehow distorted. An icy voice whispered in my ear, "You shouldn't have come here." Images of terrifying apparitions flooded my mind. Ghostly children, their eyes vacant, beckoned from the rows of cars. A spectral man in outdated attire paced anxiously beneath the flickering street lamp. A blood-soaked hand reached out from the shadows, clawing desperately for escape. Panicked, I sprinted back towards my car, desperate to leave this nightmare behind. But the once open gate now loomed before me, shut tight, trapping me within the confines of this enigmatic horror show. I pounded on the gate, screaming for help, but my voice remained unheard, swallowed by the void. As I turned to face the desolate drive-in once more, the images projected on the screen shifted again. They morphed into grotesque scenes of violence and suffering, tormenting my very soul. I closed my eyes, blocking out the horrors that surrounded me, praying for salvation. When I opened my eyes, I found myself back in my car, parked by the side of the highway. The storm had passed, and the night was calm. Confusion flooded my senses, leaving me wondering if it was all just a figment of my imagination. But as I drove away, glimpses of the drive-in haunted my rearview mirror, reminding me of the darkness that lurked just beyond our perception.